All right, so we are starting this off. It is recording. What is going on, everybody out there in YouTube land? Thank you for tuning in to A Connection TV, the one channel on YouTube where we actually adopt similar connections despite our differences. And I am interviewing Mr. Can you please tell everybody your name?
My name is Kvng David.
All right, so where's the king coming from? Are you royalty? Are you from Europe? What's going on?
So the king is inspired by spirituality. It is a representation of one's spiritual conquest and basically elevating yourself. So king is not a self-proclaimed claim to fame or something like that. It's more about the journey I've taken and getting to that place in my own spiritual journey where I feel I'm in the king of my spirit.
All right, I like that response because, you know, some people, you know, they put king in their name and they, you know, they have that little cocky personality.
No cockiness behind it.
All right.
Very humbly a king, as a king should be.
All right, that's a beautiful thing. How old are you, sir?
I am 27 years young.
Oh, you are a baby. That is so cute. Where are you from?
I appreciate you calling me a baby at 27. I truly do. I am from Philadelphia.
Okay.
I'm currently an ATL resident. Welcome me to ATL, people.
Yes, indeed. How long have you been to Atlanta?
I started coming in September. I started splitting 2 weeks out of the month. And at this point, I have soft landed into Atlanta as of February. I made an official move.
Okay, so you're kind of like a newbie.
A newbie.
Yeah, it hasn't been a full year.
No, not a full year.
Okay, all right. Me and myself, I've been here now for 4 months. What brought you down to Atlanta? Why Atlanta, of all places?
Of all the places you could go. You know how many times I've heard that question? Why did you go to Atlanta? I came to Atlanta because it has a lot of opportunities, especially for a black male in entertainment. So it is a pit stop before going out to California so that I don't have to sleep on a cot.
Hey, you know what? You sound just like me because I get the same response to people that ask me why did I come to Atlanta. I was born on the East Coast, so that's all I knew. And so for me, I want to exhaust all of my opportunities or potential opportunities here on the East Coast before I even decide to go all the way
over. Exactly.
Yeah, to the West.
I'd rather them come, give me the call and tell me, y'all have my house contract set up, and now I should come to LA. I'm ready for it.
That makes sense. I understand that. What is your zodiac sign?
My zodiac sign is none other than Gemini.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Gemini.
Geminis are a bit much. They are nice at first, and then for some reason they have a switch that flips on and off, so it's like that bipolar tendency kind of.
I won't say bipolar. I'd say temperamental.
Okay.
Isn't that a better word? We are the same ones, same Geminis, people. There are crazy Gemini. Well, we all have a crazy switch.
Okay.
But you have a calmer Gemini, and then you have a crazier Gemini. Okay. I'm like the calmer one. So I'm pretty leveled. To be a close friend of mine is to understand just how crazy of a Gemini I am. But to interact with me socially, you never get the vibe where you say, oh God, the Gemini-ness. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Unless you cross me.
Unless you are crossed. Okay, well, I mean, that makes sense. You know, I think every sign can attach themselves to that level of thinking.
Yeah. Okay,
so Atlanta is where you are currently, and you are in the profession of entertainment. One of the reasons why you moved to Atlanta. I'm sure some individuals may notice your face, may notice who you are from the popular hit web series called Triangle. Yes. It's in 3rd season, correct?
It's in 3rd season. We are actually wrapping up the end of the 3rd season. We'll be filming the finale this upcoming week.
All right, so I have to admit I am not a web series watcher, although I am a vlogger. I don't watch many of the web series, but I have stumbled across Triangle enough to know that you guys have been doing it for some time. You have some controversial or yet interesting visuals depicted on the show, and you're an hour-based show. It's like an hour.
Yeah, about an hour. It always goes between maybe 50 minutes to an hour and 20.
Okay.
So it's a longer series. It's a bit more drawn out in a soap opera fashion than like a daytime half-hour series fashion.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about it. Tell us your role that you play in Triangle and why should people watch?
Okay. Well, first off, a little bit about Triangle, hence the name Triangle. It is written in sequences of love triangles and connecting triangles of people. So it's based in a city called Easton, which is actually a real place in Pennsylvania. Some people always think it's a made-up place if they're not familiar. But how it works is someone will always drop into Easton. There will be a new character that will come to Easton. And from that point, you'll slowly understand how they're connected to people that you're already familiar with on the show. It's always involving some form of a scandal, and it always ends up getting pretty juicy in the end.
Okay, are there any like violent action scenes? You know, a lot of people like the fights and...
Yes, my character has had quite a few scuffles.
Okay.
So I guess I even segue into who my character is from that point. So I play Winston Corey. Winston Corey is a Gemini.
That's a hot name.
Yes, he's a Gemini as well. Kudos to him. So there is the calculated personality with him, where basically he plays a fixer. So we're all familiar with that title of a name from the Olivia Pope side of things. But basically, to understand what that character would look like, think Olivia Pope mixed with her father. So the darkness of her father, but the strategy of Olivia. That is what my character is. Very collected, very concise, a calm creature that you don't want to ever see lose his cool, pretty much.
All right, well that's some Geminis. You don't want to see the Geminis lose their cool, man. So what makes Triangle different from all of the other shows out there? I think you have the Issa chick, she has some shows on there. She's like the Shonda Rhimes of YouTube, I guess now.
Yeah.
You have Signal 23 out there. You have all these other companies that are doing or producing this content on YouTube and online. What makes Triangle so different?
Well, I would say first, if we're going to just start from the general web series nation, then I would say simply the LGBT is the first start of it. The way that it's done is a mix between LGBT and straight. So you have straight characters, bisexual characters, trans characters. You kind of have this melting pot of coming together of different, how would you say that, scenes, so to speak. Now, as it relates to the LGBT web series family, how is it different? It's very focused on storyline, very, very focused on storyline. The storylines are not so much surrounding everyday gay interaction like other shows are. There is, of course, some raciness, and you have your sex scenes, but it does not thrive through the sex scenes, where a lot of the other shows kind of rely on that, and that's how they reel people in. It's really about the storyline with this show, and the storyline is always interesting. It's always something that is psychological, so that draws the viewers in because they really want to know what's going to happen. And if like in the Triangle fan group, you'll see they know every person's personality, history, background, what they did in season 2, episode 3, and how that could mean this is going to happen now. So it's very storyline based, which keeps the viewer really interested.
Yeah, I have to say my little brother Dwayne, shout out to Dwayne, him and a close friend of mine, Adrian, were ranting and raving about Triangle. Oh my God, did you see when this happened? Oh, but then he did this. And I was like, what are y'all talking about? They're like, Triangle, it's on YouTube. I'm like, all right, I know it already. But yeah, people really get into it. So who's the creator of this show?
The creator is Caesar Will.
Okay.
Yes.
Does he act in it as well?
He does not.
All right. So your role in this show is just an actor. Do you produce? Do you write?
I just act in the show.
All right. So what makes you believe that you are a phenomenal actor?
Well, what makes me believe that I'm a phenomenal actor? I prefer to let other people tell me I'm a phenomenal actor. One.
Good answer.
I like people to tell me that. So I try, honestly, to never adopt the mentality that I am a phenomenal actor, because the moment you accept that you're a phenomenal actor, then you become mediocre because you stop trying. So yes, okay. I would say that I am naturally gifted in acting, and I have, a natural talent for it, and it's something that I continue to try to elevate.
Come on, Gemini, you better come through with these great answers. That's a beautiful thing. Yeah. So obviously you like working on this project. You've done it now for 3 seasons. Has there been any drama, any controversy between the actors? Do the actors all get along? Is it one happy family?
So politically, I would say we're a huge family. No, honestly, what I will say about Triangle from the very beginning, part of what really made me stay so long more than anything else is the family union. Since the very beginning, it started off where we were all in one house, you know, shacked up. You have 12 cast members in a 3-bedroom apartment just trying to get you know, a weekend of filming done, and that really bonded us like a family because we were spending so much of our free time sacrificing our weekends together, tired together, stressed together, frustrated together, and it created a deeper level of empathy between the cast that I think will last a lifetime. Even when this is done, it'll always be that thing of, you know, we hustled together to make this happen. We were all just in our own right, you know. Already we all kind of had like our own identity, some people through ballroom and through maybe even social media or whatever it may have been, but this elevated all of us together, you know. So we're like humbly a family together, and our producer Caesar would never let us not be humble. So it's good. So yeah, we all stay very humble.
That's a beautiful thing. Usually when someone is into the arts in some way, shape or form, they cover a lot of sides of the spectrum within the entertainment industry. So we're talking about acting, and now we're gonna divvy over to music, because of course if you're an actor you have to be into music in some way, shape or form. That's what us as entertainers, that's what we do. That's what we do. Get the world to know, how are you involved in music? Do you have your own album out? Are you a singer, a rapper? What is it that you do?
Yes, I have an album out. It is titled Price of a Crown, Then and Now. It came out June 10th. The website for that album, it's available for, guess what? Free stream, completely free stream. It was important to me that people get access to this. It's something I put a lot of effort into. I am the definition of a music connoisseur. Anyone who follows me on social media knows I'm always doing a review on someone else's work. So if I was going to put something out, it better not have been shitty. And so I wanted to make something very cohesive, very honest, with great lyrical content and subject matter, that no matter whether you were straight, gay, or a trisexual, you could truly connect to the lyrical content of it. So by the way, the website for that is www.kvngdavid.com. kvngdavid.com.
The music is very, it has an eclectic, diverse sound.
Absolutely.
It is hip hop, but exactly. it's a
hip hop but.
Right, it's hip hop but. So for the people out there that are listening and watching this interview, you guys know that I review a lot of entertainment content, and as I was listening to the album, I was like, in my head I kept saying it's hip hop but, because every track has like a different twang to it. Explain to the people out there your process of making this album.
Okay, so I'll start with the background. So I've been, of course, on the web series. My personal entertainment journey, how I was introduced to the web series, started through social media and vlogging, my experiences, my wisdoms, my lessons, and just kind of sharing my growth with other people that it could help them. I actually got into a relationship with someone who was a castmate. It was a beautiful experience, hey, but within it there were a lot of challenges, and it took me to a place that got really dark. I really stepped back from my social media platform. I stopped interacting with my following, stopped sharing messages, and people knew me to be this positive, motivating kind of like light to them. And what they began to see was so much darkness, so many cryptic, you know, statuses, and just seeming stoic in the pictures that I would take. And during this time, through the course of my relationship, I lost 3 family members. I lost a god brother who was like a blood brother to me in December of 2014. Then I lost a cousin who was also gay, so it's a different kind of relationship. So you have that close relationship. Lost him in July of 2015. And then I lost another cousin in May of 2016, while at the same time, 3 weeks later, losing my relationship, which was the only thing I had left. And from that point, I was basically a shell, a complete shell of everything I represented prior and who I had been. And there's a line in a song, Hush, which goes, the chorus is, hush little Davy, don't you die. Bro was on the way with some OG lime, so weed. And if that OG lime ain't green, we'll just go and grab you some Hennessy. And if that Hennessy don't last, we'll shoot a couple texts and get you some ass. And once she leaves and it's just me, I wonder if I'm lost as I'll ever be. And that was the space that I was in. So what my album did, where it came from, I felt like I had been speaking to people so publicly and transparently about my experiences for so long. And I stopped. And before I stopped, I had my, what I call, my Britney Spears breakdown, where it was my last time going on social media and I just aired my ex out. I aired out a bunch of stuff, period, and then disappeared. So people who thought they knew me were now confused by who I was. And I left my following in this gray space. And I felt very misunderstood. I felt that I had almost taken my truth away from myself. And with this project, it was my opportunity to put it in a healthy format to express to people who I was, what happened, and in a way that they, I'm sure, could relate to. Because if you could relate to seeing who I was before, and you have problems in your life, and you go through things, and you fall short of yourself, then from hearing my story, it will remind you just how human you are, as human as I am, and encourage you through a new platform, a different method of encouragement, so to speak. So there's two sides to it. So you have then and you have now. Then is done in, I guess, I really don't like to say it this way, but lemonade fashion. And what I mean by lemonade fashion is when Lemonade was written, what I love about it is that it is varied in each moment. From one side of the album to the next side of the album sounds like two different storylines. But in a moment, and Sorry, Beyonce feels passionately that she's not fucking sorry. And All Night, she's passionately saying, basically, we're going to get this back to where it's supposed to be. I love you passionately. So when I put Then together, I wanted to, at that point I was past the pain in a sense, and I was at least journeying past that place, but I wanted to take myself back to exactly where I was as these events were transpiring and write from that place so that people could hear what it was I was actually going through. And then now I wanted to share with people what I was going through now. So the themes in now are a lot lighter, they're a lot funner. You have things like Daddy, you know, the cover boy bag, corner boy swag, keep one in the bag, be trying to buy me a jab. Be like, daddy, 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 can't you see? Sometimes your stroke just hypnotize me. You know, so it's funner. TV and May, listen, all you gotta do is put my hips into it, slur circles, I'm gonna show you how. It's about 10 inching all across the room, finna stuff you by your pillow and grab. All-time greatest unmatched and bad, be dirty one between your knees. So fuck small talk and get nasty. It's the part that turn you out, just breathe. You know, so you have different energies throughout the album. And like you said, when you said each song had a different energy, that was very important to me. Because I wanted people to see my range as a musician when they listened to the album. I wanted them to get the grit. I wanted them to get something funner. I wanted them to get some depth. And then I also wanted to have the cohesiveness of a Frank Ocean album, because I love the cohesiveness of a Frank Ocean album. It's something that you don't ever go listen to that album and start at song 5. Even if you love song 5, you feel compelled to start even from the intro of it, because it gives you an energy and takes you through a journey. And that's exactly what this album would do.
All right. Where do you see yourself being placed as or at in the entertainment industry?
There isn't a place for me in the entertainment industry. I'm about to kick a door in and create one.
Okay, you you better go ahead with these answers. How far do you want to go? Like, do you see yourself opening at MTV Music Awards? Do you see yourself presenting at the MTV Music Awards? Do you see yourself presenting at the Oscars? Like, where do you see yourself?
Well, in a perfect world, yes, I would see myself doing all of those things. I don't even think I know that I have what it takes to do those things. But the issue for me is the things that I understand about the entertainment industry and specifically the music industry, which we won't go into in this interview. But I know that in order for me to be successful behind a machine, aka a label, then I would have to compromise things within myself that are not up for compromise. So my idea is really to more so build my own platform, my own success as an independent artist. And that's going to take a lot of work, and you have to really push, but I've seen it done. If Big Frida can do it, I can do it.
Chance the Rapper, you got Chance the Rapper, you got Dawn, you got quite a few
and Dawn is another one who does everything cohesively. I listen to her music, the little interludes in between, and it might take a minute and a half before you get to the next song, but it's all part of the journey.
What do you think the price of fame is? Or one of the prices?
One of the prices of fame is certainly privacy. I experience that even now, and I will never at this point call myself famous. But you lose the ability to just say it's my business. Because if it becomes public business, you either ignore it and you allow speculation, or you give an explanation. And those are your only two options.
Right. Okay.
So that is a challenge. That is certainly a challenge. Now, that's part of why I made a decision a while back, because when I first started, doing like my vlogging and sharing messages, I got boxed into being perfect. And he's such a sweet guy. He said, I'm a Gemini. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm gonna blast that all on.
Yes. So it's true. I'm sweet. I'm loyal. I'm honest. I'm kind. But yeah, I also have a smart mouth, and I can be short-tempered, and I can be impulsive. So I could not live up to what people box me into. I might smoke weed here, smoke a cigarette, and I was feeling like I can't smoke a cigarette in public because people don't know I smoke cigarettes, and it'll let someone down that follows me and looks up to me. So I made a decision in about late 2015, while being on the show, that I wanted to create a better balance of how people saw me. So I started to show other aspects of my personality. My wit, or some of the things that I might be thinking that might be off the wall or crazy, or if it was about something racier like sex, let's talk about it. And put it in an intelligent format, so it doesn't have to be me subjecting myself, you know what I'm saying, or objectifying myself in any fashion, but being a three-dimensional person and saying, I can be godly, I can be spiritual, I can also have a sexuality, you know what I mean? I can also have an opinion about different things that you may not agree with, and it takes nothing away from any aspect of who I am. So I like where I am now. I feel like if you follow me, you can actually get a sense of who I am. And it's not something that I have to live up to. I don't know if you saw Girls Weekend or whatever the movie was, Girls Trip. Yeah.
That just came out?
It just came out. Yeah. Check it out. Guys, it's really, really funny. It was good. I'm proud of them for that movie.
Are you, every time, for me, speaking for me, every time we have a black movie come out, I'm like,
I was too. I didn't want to go see it specifically. Someone else was like, I want to go to the movies, can you go see it with me? But I'm glad they took me, because from the previews you really don't get a good sense of what the movie is really about, but it has some meaning, and I'm going to pull something from that. That's why I brought it up.
Okay.
Regina Hall she actually is the main character. Kudos to her being in that lineup of cast and it being centered around her. She's really come up. But her character is married. She's this new age Oprah kind of, you can have it all, you don't have to settle. How do you manage business, your relationship, your friends, and still manage to have time for yourself? Because I believe that if you will it, you can have it. That's like her claim to this movie. And in reality, her husband is cheating on her, has been cheating on her, is having an affair with like some Instagram hoe who is less than respectful and trying to sabotage things for her. And Regina Hall is smiling, pretending, you know, her girlfriend seeing with somebody else and they snap out, and then she's like, oh no, it's fine, because they don't know that she knows what's happening already and she's just hiding it. And it really spoke to me because she was continuously being political because of having to maintain a brand that she created. You understand what I'm saying? And it really imprisoned her. So it speaks to that tone of being who you really are is always going to be better than ever creating some image or brand. So my brand, my image is just me. There is no, oh, so what are you trying to convey? Myself. However I can do that. Now I'll try to think about what that means and how I can put that out in a video or on paper or in an interview, but it's just me. You know what I'm saying? If I want to say, oh child, I'm going to say, oh child, and it's not going to take away from my masculinity in any moment. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I represent that, being yourself.
That's interesting that you talk about it in that manner, because I'm actually coming out with a clothing line that is surrounding that whole idea and thought process. So yeah, that's nice to hear you talk about it like that. That's really cool. How did you start acting?
How did I start acting? Well,
what made you decide that you were going to be an actor?
Well, I was naturally placed in acting and the arts by my parents. Since a very young child, I just showed some kind of exceptional ability in arts, from drawing to just being a bit of a character and very animated. My parents put me in Freedom Theater when I was 5 years old. I was in church plays. I grew up in the church. My father's a pastor, random fact. And I grew up in church plays, went to middle school, did all the middle school plays. High school, I stopped because I was hiding my sexuality and I was friends with the jocks and I needed to blend in. And being a theater head would not help me blend in. So I left it alone and left it behind, so to speak. Got out of school, regular job, doing regular things, being a regular ass individual, but with this passion that I was supposed to be someone. So by 21, I was having a midlife crisis. I felt like I was old and I missed my window. I was supposed to be a model by now, for sure. That was the one thing that I continued to pursue, because in my time, 2006 is when I was 16. So at that time, it was becoming cool for a guy to be a model. It wasn't gay to model anymore. You know, guys were doing fashion shows and everybody was taking pictures, and there was social media coming about. So that was the one place I felt comfortable to pursue, but I didn't have any guidance and direction. I was working with photographers, taking great pictures and going nowhere. And I just kind of trickled off. So I got to a place in my personal life where I started personal training. I started my own training business, and I got that sense of you can do anything you put your mind to for once again in my life. It was like a turning point for me. That led me to train someone who was best friends with the producer of Triangle. A good friend of mine, Thomas Mackey, what up Thomas, who is also on a few different shows now. He's also a Triangle cast member as well, but he started doing Triangle. And when I saw him doing Triangle, I said, if he can do Triangle, I can do Triangle. Or if he can act, I can act. Why am I not taking those same, opportunities? So I hit up the producer, gave him a call. He told me to send him a reel. It wasn't that good because I didn't have that confidence, at least to just say, all right, well, cool. Send me, acting reel of you. I didn't have any experience. I didn't believe that I was an actor. And to anybody else who does not have experience, don't doubt yourself just because you haven't proven to anybody that you can do it. You got to tell yourself first that you can. So the bottom line is, he saw the reel, wasn't really impressed. He said, send me another one. I said, okay. And I sent him another one. He said, all right, cool. I'm going to have you come in. Here's your script, blah, 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 blah. Oh my God, this is awesome. So I freaked out. He's telling me like, think American Psycho mixed with this and that and that. So I'm like studying these movies and trying to kind of like create my personality. I come on, and after day one of filming, he says to me, "That was amazing." He said, "You know, I had this vision for this character of what I thought he was supposed to be, but man, what you brought me is so unique." And and he's going, and I'm just sitting here like,
okay, so you the modern day Denzel, that's what you're saying?
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe, we'll see. We will see. But he was impressed, and that, for me, encouraged me to say, if other people see this thing, I've got to be able to acknowledge it myself. I got to look at what everyone's talking about, where they see this star power. Even with things like this, where we would do our sit-down interviews, or we would do like a, "Hey guys, check out episode 29 coming out now." It was always, I noticed these other characters, I came in episode 17 of season 1. But he's saying, "David, you say it." You know what I mean? Here, you lead. David's gonna, and I had to acknowledge, okay, there's something there. So from that point, I pretty much stopped saying, "Oh, I can't do this. Oh, I can't do that," or "Why would I try to do that?" Because I thought, why would I be trying to act? I'm not an actor. Or I'm 27, or at the time 26. It's too late for me to start making music. I don't want to be one of those mixtape dudes running around and, you know, passing out my mixtape at a gas station.
But if that's your passion, then that's your passion.
And you can't trivialize what you're passionate about, because passion will open great doors. And people smell, sense, and see passion when you speak about it. And that makes them want to entertain the idea of taking you more seriously than you may even be taking yourself.
You better go ahead and preach, bro.
Yeah.
So who's your favorite actor and musician?
My favorite actor is Will Smith.
Okay, I could vibe with that. Will Smith has a new Netflix movie coming out called Bright. Have you seen the trailer?
I haven't.
It is very interesting. Think Men in Black, but with a more Men in Black meets Lord of the Rings.
I would have to see that.
It's very interesting. No, okay, better yet. Men in Black meets Lord of the Rings meets Bad Boys 3. And Bad Boys 3 is in production. It hasn't come out yet, but it is very interesting. And Netflix has acquired an immense amount of money, so they have a huge budget attached to this film. But yeah, because there are fairies in the movie. There's like devilish monsters in the movie. It's not as kooky and corny as Men in Black, but it's real serious. That's interesting. Will Smith. And who's your favorite musician?
My favorite musician, I would say my favorite musician of my lifetime is Aaliyah.
Okay.
And of our generation would be Rihanna / Frank Ocean for a male artist.
Okay. That's interesting. I immediately thought of my little brother when you said Rihanna.
Did you?
Yeah.
By the way, I'm like an original Rihanna fan. Because you have the piggybackers who decided to be Rihanna fans when she was hot and that bitch. I'm the one that's been fighting for her since y'all been saying she can't sing.
Since her first album?
Yes.
Okay, so I really didn't like her first album. It was like an introduction type thing, but every album after that, I can listen to, and this is what I told somebody about, I said something about Mary J. Blige, and then, then Rihanna. I said, first of all, you can't compare the two, number one. And at the end of the day, every album that Rihanna has out, I can listen to from the beginning to the fucking end. I can't think of one album that Mary J. Blige has where I'll listen to the entire album. But that's neither here nor there. Okay, so Rihanna, that's what's up. I appreciate that and respect that and understand that. So usually at the end of my interviews, I do a game, sort of like a little spoof kind of game, personality game if you will, called Choose One. I'm going to give you some options.
Okay.
And you have to choose one. You can't say neither, you can't say both, you can't say skip, you have to choose one.
Okay.
Okay?
Let's do it.
Who would you choose between Nicki Minaj, Remy Ma, or Cardi B?
Cardi B.
Who would you choose between Beyonce or Rihanna?
Rihanna.
Whitney or Mariah?
Whitney.
Chance the Rapper or Frank Ocean?
Frank.
LL Cool J or Will Smith?
Will Smith.
As a rapper?
Mm-mm.
As an actor?
Yes.
Okay. What about rapping?
I'm still gonna go with Will Smith. I'm still gonna go with him.
Okay.
Out of loyalty.
Pennsylvania or Atlanta?
Atlanta.
Nice. Tyler Perry or Lee Daniels?
Lee Daniels.
Okay. Empire or Power?
I haven't seen Power, but I'm gonna go with Power.
Okay. Ashanti or A. Marie?
A. Marie.
Interesting. Why A. Marie?
I love A. Marie. I actually listen to her albums, like not just her singles.
Okay.
And I love her energy.
Okay. Baggy jeans or skinny jeans?
Skinny.
Why? Do you don't sag? Do you sag? Do you show your butt to the world?
Not a huge fan. I do like maybe like an inch and a half down just for give, so that my pants are like, I have like a high waist, so
Okay.
it's not like the look for me to have my pants at my complete waist.
Okay.
But yeah, not like, I'm not like a catch my cake sagger, no.
Okay.
No.
I'm glad you said catching my case. All the saggers do. That's okay. A baseball cap or bandana?
Baseball cap.
Okay. Do you have waves? What does the hair look like?
So we got Indian in my blood, and we even got some Irish. And God just said, you know what, David? We're going to give you the African in your bloodline. So there's no waves. There is no pretty edges. I just got hair up under here. Keep the grass cut, and we are good to go. If the grass is not cut, always hat.
Okay.
Yes.
Basketball or football?
Football.
Netflix and chill or movie theater and chill?
Movie theater and chill.
House party or club party?
House party.
Rap music or R&B?
Rap.
Okay. House music or country?
House.
Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton?
Hillary.
Why Hillary?
I just can't deal with Donald Trump. Can't deal with him. He's not in, no, Donald Trump. He's a Gemini. If he was a personality, I would find him entertaining. As my president, I find him repulsive.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay. So what does it take for someone to get to know you on a personal and intimate level?
Very good question. A lot. It takes a lot. I am a really hard person to get close to. Partially, yeah, I'm very friendly and approachable, and I can have an easy conversation with you, but I know how to do it in a way that it always feels just friendly. You can talk to me for hours and feel like you know so much about me, but then be like, what do I know actually about this guy? So I'm actually working on that in a sense. In another sense, I like that about myself, because at least I'm not like shut off or people are like, ugh. You get what I'm saying? You can always get a good vibe from me, but it allows me to protect my light, so to speak, and my spirit. Okay.
And so what would be your last thing that you would tell this audience that is watching you right now? It could be anything that you want to tell them. What would you say to close out this interview?
I am a man. My heart's not filled with sand. A man. Understand? Just a man. Please. Just understand. A man.